It's pretty amazing. I've been with him since I was 19 years old, and we dated for 8 years before we got married. And I thought I knew him, and yet every year he does something that truly amazes me. I guess the main thing that he has is this intense focus, and he stays incredibly focused and does incredible things. I mean, the business and where he's taken the business and how he's been able to go from the factory working, he started out as a factory worker and continued through all of the jobs that they gave him, and then he's now president and CEO of this international company. It amazes me that he can go around the world, a full trip around the world, come home at some ungodly time at night, and be ready to go to work at 7:30 in the morning.
He's all over the world. I mean, he'll travel anywhere for his company, and he works hard. And I think, whatever Jeff gets out of his work, he deserves it. He's a hard worker.
Jim, how gracious he was at the age of 65 when he was supposed to retire, he retired. Well, not that he really retired, because he's still working there every day. But he stepped down. He said, it's now time for Jeff. So it was so honorable for him to do that. And in the same token, Jeff works under his father, and certainly at times there's been some disagreement, but they both respect each other's opinions so highly.
Jeff, I think, brings a little more modern ingenuity, technology to the things that he does, the company. I think he supports a lot of that future direction with that type of upcoming technology, whatever it is, to just move into the 21st century.
Whether it's new products or complementary companies that we purchase, or the new facility. I mean, it's growth of the company that his vision is being carried out as he goes forward.
I'm sure over time they've had to position and reposition the Gorman Rupp Company to be able to provide the kind of stable economic commercial enterprise that they have. It says that he must realize that he can't do it alone. He has to listen to the people that are around him and pay attention to their views. I know it's a company that works very hard at recognizing and rewarding the people that work there for their contributions.
If I had to compare Jeff to someone, it would be to a coach, say an Urban Meyer or a Jim Tressel, who I think have succeeded because they surround themselves with very capable people, let them do their jobs, certainly hold them accountable.
He's not in there micromanaging you or always, in your way, and that's a great feeling to have when you know what he wants and you go do it, and he gives you the freedom and responsibility to do that.
Respects the fact that other people have ideas and listens to those, and then sets the direction and tries to make sure we're doing the right thing for the customers in the long run.
Gorman Rupp is a company, unlike so many companies in America today that rely on the internet, on the fax machine. Gorman Rupp is a company where the people still answer their phones, including Jeff Gorman. And that means a lot to me as a distributor.
The best sales tool you have to try to attract somebody else to come to your area is the successful company or companies that are here. And who better to use as that example of success than the Gorman Rupp Company?
The amazing stories that I've heard, the progression of Gorman Rupp, how he's built it up to be a worldwide company, like that. I know it takes a lot that goes into that, and it's impressive the amount of articles I read about him. It's amazing.
I think Jeff's very proud of Gorman Rupp. I think its history and tradition mean a lot to him and his family. They've taken the small company and have really grown it to what it is today. So I just see a lot of pride with it.
Not only is he leading a company that has been voted one of the best 200 companies in the country by Forbes magazine the last 3 years running. But I mean, he finds time to involve himself with other organizations, the Ohio Chamber, the Mansfield-Richland Area Chamber, and of course REDAC.
He cares a lot about the community. He serves on a lot of boards. A lot of individuals don't know that because of his low-key nature. I think Jeff's a big believer in giving back.
Well, about 2 years ago, we went to the National Business Aviation Show, but he went with us, and we had the REDAC booth there, and he even found time to spend some time at our booth working with us. I mean, he didn't have to take that time out. Now, we used him mainly as a lookout, as you can tell. He was there actually because he was interested. He wanted to make sure that if there was somebody that came by that he could help us answer a question about why aviation was important to Richland County and the Mansfield area. Who better to provide that information than somebody from the Gorman family, in particular Jeff?
I see him as a person of high integrity. I see him as a person who truly wants to make a difference in whatever environment he's in. He doesn't strike me as one who says yes to activities to build his resume. If he says yes, I believe it's because he does think humbly he can make a difference.
It all comes back to him being such a hard worker that I think that, after a lifetime of working for the community, that people have really seen what he's done for, Mansfield.
I think I've had the privilege of being on a number of boards and committees with him, and he's obviously a great leader. He's a good thinker. He sees the big picture. He asks great questions. And he just gets to the point of the matter, and obviously he's done that in our community and the boards that he serves within the community. Just not the type of person who'll sit around and talk about a problem for a long period of time. He likes to get to the point, come up with pertinent solutions, and get on with it.
One day in the garden, I was doing flowers, and I hear this voice from the hangar going, "Shelley." I go, "Just a minute, I'll be there in a minute." And he's like, "Okay." And I'm still thinking, and I'm thinking he needs me to work with him a little bit. And so I thought, well, just let me finish this one little plot here that I was working on. And a few minutes later, he goes, "Shelley, could you bring the car down here?" I said, "Well, sure." So I drive the car down there. He has fallen off a 20-foot ladder onto the concrete floor, and he's just laying there, and he goes, "Oh, the foot's fine. It'll be fine, Shelley. It'll be fine. Just get me to the house." And I felt so bad, but that's he just takes things so calmly that you just sometimes don't realize. And he was hurt. He had a broken foot. He had the cast taken off a week early so that he could go water skiing.
Jeff is an intense person. He really is. He's quiet, but he's very intense. He likes to compete. He likes to win at things.
I've found that he's, relatively speaking, a man of few words. What that means is when he speaks, the room gets silent because people want to listen to what he has to say.
Jeffrey is a very quiet man, very introspective, always thinking. He's always thinking about something.
Always into a project, always consistently working on something. So that's something, it's a very good quality to have. Always in a project at work, or, working around the house, helping us out, anything, but always actively involved in something.
Definitely hardworking. He genuinely cares about people. Although his life is consumed in his work, you can totally notice that his family is his number one priority, and work is also very important to him, but family and work are what describes my dad.
The character of Jeff Gorman is his work ethic, and that includes no matter whether it's at work, whether it's at home, whether it's anywhere he is. Work is just his relaxation. So it's pretty amazing.
I see Jeff pretty much the same since I've known him. You would not know he's the president, CEO of a corporation. He just acts like all of us. It's a nice thing about Jeff. I think we just appreciate he's himself.
I think he's well respected in the community for what he's been able to achieve. And he's just a genuine guy that doesn't look for the spotlight, but looks for how we can grow and improve both the company and the community.